Hi everyone, it's Robyn from Water Moon Tarot, and I'm coming to you guys today for my fourth video on the moon signs in the series of 12, and we're going to be talking about the moon in Cancer today. So the moon in Cancer, well, Cancer is a cardinal sign, and it's a water sign, and it is a feminine sign, and Cancer is ruled by the planet Cancer is ruled by the moon. So in the moon sign, a moon ruled uh, sign, which is Cancer, feels very, very comfortable. They say that's pretty much the best moon placement that you could possibly have because there's so much ease. It's at home in the moon sign. So Cancer people are very comfortable with their emotions. They're very in tune with how they feel a lot of the time. They're very sensitive, extremely sensitive, and with their feelings, they're very comfortable with that. They'll talk about their feelings. They'll talk about how they, feel to people. They don't really, they don't have any like difficulty. There's no hard energy there. So moon and Cancers are pretty much even keeled when it comes to how they're feeling. And not only that, there's a lot of emotional depth there. To how they're feeling, and they feel things quite strongly. They feel their feelings very strongly, but not in a difficult way. So that's a huge plus to have the moon in Cancer. It's very at home there, and of course the moon is the placement of the mother, and not only that. Cancer is the sign of the mother, of course, because they're both ruled by the moon. The moon is said to be, the god, the mother god, the goddess of the mother, Gaia. The moon goddess. She's the birth mother. She's fertile. So. A very important aspect to the moon in Cancer, a very important characteristic to the moon in Cancer is family, children, and home. Those are all key words for the moon in Cancer because that is their number one. That is their literally karmic lesson in life. They are born onto this earth to be mothers, be fathers, and they place a lot of importance on that. They love children from the time that they're, little. They're already thinking about, having their own children, and they'll have a little doll that they're, it's their baby, and and it doesn't only go for the female moon in Cancers. Moon and Cancer men place a lot of importance on, having children and having a family and having a home. It's very traditional in that way, and that's basically what they want from their lives. It's very, very rare to see a moon in Cancer that never has children, that's, that's like a worker bee for their entire lives. They love to have children and grandchildren and family and all of the rest of it. It's super important to them. A moon in Cancer who's not yet married, or a moon in Cancer that's having trouble finding somebody to have children with or whatever is not a happy Cancer. Cancer wants to settle down, have kids, and raise their kids. They love that. So that's very important to them, and also the home is very important to them. They love to be at home. They love their home to be very comfortable. They love their home to be very homey, and very often you'll go to a moon in Cancer's home and it's going to be so cozy in there because they really want that that feeling in the home. They want to come home after a day's work and have their children there and have a comfortable home, and it's, the fireplace is going, the whole thing. So the picket fence and all of that. So that's really the moon in Cancer, very much so. They're very careful about their feelings. If you think about the moon in Cancer, if you think about Cancer in general, the animal associated with them is the crab, and the crab has a very hard shell and a very soft center. So yes, they are very soft inside, very sensitive, as I previously said, but on the outside, very hard. So a lot of Cancers, you would be surprised that they are a Cancer, because they seem very tough and sometimes abrupt, but really that's more of a protection mechanism for them. Because of how sensitive they are, they feel that they need to protect themselves. Very careful about who they let in to their, personal selves, personal information. And in general, the water signs are all like that. Very, very careful, because they all do know that they're extremely sensitive and can get hurt very easily. So they do know that they need to protect themselves. And Cancer is the first water moon sign that we're going through. So it's really important to understand that water moon signs, they're extremely sensitive and feel the need to protect themselves from that. So the moon in Cancer has that hard shell, and very often they will be the most extroverted of the water signs, because they are a cardinal sign and they are leaders and they do lead. But they are very soft on the inside. They're careful about how they leap forward sometimes, because again, they're afraid to get hurt. So if you think about the crab, it kind of moves slowly, and it moves to side before going forward, and that's also a defense mechanism. They don't want to rush into things too quickly, and get hurt. So very, very careful. And the moon in Cancer is also very possessive, and they're possessive about the things that they have. They're possessive about the people that they love, and they're possessive about just about pretty much everything. And that is a key word for the moon in Cancer, is possession. Like the crab, they have the claws, and they grab hold and they don't let go. And very hard. One thing about them is it's very hard for them to kind of let go. And when I mean possessive, they can often be jealous with their partners, and because they're afraid to kind of lose them, and they see it as though they have possession of that person. That person's mine. It's not yours, it's mine. And they see that for their possessions too. It's very rare that you'll see a moon in Cancer be like, oh, you want to borrow this? Yeah, no problem. You want to borrow my coat or whatever? Moon in Cancer doesn't lend things. It's theirs. And if they do lend things, it's not comfortably. They're afraid they'll never see it again. And so very possessive over their material things, over their people. But they make amazing parents. They love the traditional side of things, that family unit, extremely important to them. Very traditional in that way. They make amazing parents. Again, they're very possessive, so even of their children. So a lot of the time, moon in Cancer will keep their children living with them forever, adult children even, they just love to be around their children. The moon in Cancers are often extremely good with money. Again, they're very careful. And the moon in Cancers that I've known, like, I don't even know how it's possible, but they turn very little into a lot. They save, they kind of like squirrel away, and they're very good at sticking to a budget. Again, with that security in the home, like those are the things that they very often will put their money into. And of all the water signs, I would say that they're the best financial, organizers and things like that. And money is important to them, and they're not frivolous at all, and they're savers, and they're quite smart with their money, and they turn, I honestly, I don't know how they do it, but they turn very little into a lot. They do. Over time, and they're like patient, and they could, amass a great deal with, very, like blue collar work, or, like very simple, things, and then they'll be leaving like large amounts, to inheritance and things like that. So they're really quite good at that. Again, they're very good at dealing with how they feel, and just very careful, and they like to mate for life as well. And it's not a fixed sign, but still they're very traditional in that way. So that's just a quick overview of the moon in Cancer. If it sounds like you and you're a moon in Cancer, I would love to hear the feedback from that. Follow, all of the rest of it, and I'll be coming back with another video. The next is Moon in Leo. I love you guys. Bye-bye.